guys, I'm Brig Beck, and today I just received a new package from my new sponsor.
Lucky.
We're at ScooterZone, and we're gonna cut down the deck and assemble my whole scooter.
So what do we got here, Brig?
So first we have the Lucky titanium bars. Then we have the Cody Flom deck. It says Cody Flom.
Of course, Lucky always provides their hardware, brake, and everything with all decks.
I picked this grip tape because it's really cool because it just has like a bunch of Lucky signs and feels really grippy. These are the Hurricane forks, they're really cool. So then we have the Blake Baylor wheels, the 110 Lucky wheels, pretty cool. Got those right. The double clamp, pretty sick.
Next we have the HIC kit. This is just like the compression kit that we'll be needing to kind of put everything together.
Then we have the black Lucky vice grips, pretty sick. Then we have the Lucky Revo headset.
So next step for us right now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna kind of go step by step and show you how to properly cut down a deck, measure everything, and kind of get it all dialed in from there. So let's go do that right now. Okay, so my first step in cutting a deck itself is, of course, you find out the measurements of what they want to be cut down to. This specific deck is going to be 19.5. What Brig wants it cut down to is 17.5, so I'm going to take off 2 inches. So what I'm going to do is just make a little mark right at 17.5 on both sides of the dropouts. Okay, so we got our little marks right here. Now what I'd like to do from there is, of course, get the measurements of the dropouts where the wheel well is and the brake holes. That's roughly around 3 inches. What I'll do is just mark this 3 inches, or you can write on a piece of paper or anything like that. Just kind of make sure you don't forget. Line up the brake holes. It's easier for you to kind of just get a measuring tape and just kind of mark it. That's kind of like my personal preference. Just kind of the middle of the brake hole, because you know where specifically to drill at when you're all said and done cutting it. So I got all my marks. So now what we do is we'll line this up, make a line so I know where exactly to cut it. So I have my little line right here. Usually what I like to use is going to be a chop saw, and when I kind of cut the deck itself, I just make sure it follows the lines. Okay, so we'll show you how to cut it now. Okay, so once you get the deck cut, you're gonna measure everything up, and then I'm gonna use this dropout as like a stencil. So then what we do is we'll trace this, we'll get the measurements coming up here, also just make little dots for the brake holes itself, and let's get to it. Since you already have your measuring tape, you make those marks on your measuring tape. So we're gonna make a mark right there on that side, transfer on over to the other side, make another mark. And what I do here is I try to line up the line from the previous existing line, and then make the lines here, and then you'll just make the line straight across from this side to this side. So there it is right there. And when you're done with that, since the brake holes are already right there, you want to try to line it up. So just put a little dot right there and a little dot right there where you want to be drilling, just to line everything back up. So with the dropouts, what I like to do is just kind of line it up from right here, make it flush from the existing, and then just kind of mark it, and then you'll make that. So like I said, kind of keep it flush, use your finger right here, be careful because of this kind of excess aluminum shards, kind of, you see that? Be careful with that. We will be cleaning it up, no worries. So then we'll just bada bang, bada boom. You can do the same on the bottom as well, just so you can follow your lines. We're gonna cut this out with an angle grinder, and with the angle grinder you can just kind of line up the blade against the deck already and kind of just go from a straight line up from there. So even if your lines are a little sloppy like mine are right now, we can kind of bypass that and kind of get it straight just from the blade of the angle grinder itself. So you're gonna go straight up on each side, and then you'll go horizontal cut, and then what you'll do is get like a pliers or anything, needle nose, whatever you have around, and you'll just kind of like wiggle this off and this should break off. Safety first. Wear glasses. Mine are pre-installed. So you're fine. So once you get this part done, and just pry it off, and it's just you know, bam, boom, you're done with that section. So let's start the bottom. Let's get the bottom done. What we'll do is we'll cut straight out, get that piece out of the way, and then we'll just have a free way of just cutting this additional angle out of there. So as you can tell, you know, it might not be perfect, but once I start cleaning it up, get everything dialed in, you know, it'll look good. It'll look good. Okay, so once you're done completing all that, you can kind of see where it's at. So the next step is, for what you want to do from here, would just be cleaning up all these edges, like I had said previously, just to make sure no one cuts themselves. So like I said, I like to like run my fingers along everything. As you could tell, everything's kind of cleaned up. No cuts, no jagged edges, no nothing like that. What we're gonna do next is the brake. What I like to do is just insert the brake and just make sure the brake holes line up with the dots. I mean, of course you can't see it, but you kind of get what I'm saying. Like, you can see the brake holes go under the dots, and that's what we kind of want. We want everything to line up, which looks kind of be on the money. So we're gonna go ahead and drill those holes, get them all drilled up, countersunk. And there we go. So we're gonna kind of clean these up a little bit, countersink them, and then we'll do the grip tape. We'll put the brake on, and then we'll have Brig come in, help us finish the rest of like the front end and everything else like that. So let's get to it. Okay, so now we're done with the brake. Let's get Brig in here to kind of help us finish the rest of the scooter. Okay, so we just finished installing the grips, cutting the titanium bars down, and installing the clamp, as you see right here that Brig is holding. So the last step of the deck cut itself, which in my personal opinion I think is the hardest, is drilling the axle hole itself. So what I like to do is I like to drop the wheel a little bit to see where the center of the bearing is and kind of follow it up and then kind of make my mark from there. Okay, so we're completely done. Brig's just going to be doing the final touches, which is tightening the clamp, which completes the whole scooter itself. And then we'll have Brig just kind of try it out and see how he likes it.
Okay, I think that's good.
All right.
I'm gonna get some clips.
So we just finished making my new scooter, and I'm just gonna give you like all the parts that I have on it. So starting at the top, we have the Lucky vice grips and the Lucky titanium bars with the Lucky double clamp and the Revo headset and the Hookin fork with the 110 wheels. Pretty cool. Then we have the Cody Flom deck. I'm super stoked about this one. And then we have the Lucky grip tape. It's pretty cool. And yeah, super stoked about this scooter. So I just want to give a huge shout out to Lucky and ScooterZone for building this scooter for me. So if you guys like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.
Let's get rich and give everybody nice weather. Teach them how to dance.